The Gridiron Gang, a Hollywood movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as a probation officer at a juvenile detention facility rehabilitating young men through football. DeQuin Evans knows that movie. He's seen that movie. He's lived that movie. Evans grew up in the projects of Compton, California, a downtrodden part of greater Los Angeles. He lived with his grandfather, uncle, mother, and 3 sisters. His father was rarely around, spending much of DeQuin's childhood in prison, but Evans said his early years felt normal to him.
But, on the flip note, it was always something bad going on right when the lights went down.
And it usually involved gangs. Evans says he was never a member, but like most kids his age, he eventually gravitated to the bangers.
What football is to the South, gangs are to Compton. You know how you got little kids growing up knee high, wanting to play for UK, wanting to play for Florida, wanting to play for Alabama, grow up fans. There's none of that in Compton. You grow up, wanting to be like the guys around you.
And while he might not have been a gang member, Evans says he soon began hanging out with the bangers, which meant ditching school. One night he was pulled over in a stolen car, which police said had been used in gang activity. At age 15, DeQuin Evans was going to jail.
I felt like less of a man. I'll question myself. How could I do this to my mother? How could I give my mother all these gray hairs while I'm in here? And it just tore me up inside.
Evans knew he'd be sent to a juvenile detention facility, and that's where he caught a break, ending up in Camp Kilpatrick, the same place depicted in the Hollywood movie. That's where DeQuin Evans found his way to football.
You got a guy standing right next to another guy who has to block for him, and this guy hates this guy's guts because one of their friends probably killed one of their good friends, or one of their friends from their rival gang probably killed their brother. So this guy hates this guy's guts, and you got fights going on the field all the time.
Even though he had no background in organized football, Evans took to the sport. Like most players, he hated practice, but couldn't wait for game day.
Every time I would suit up and boot up, and then a national anthem song would come on, and those chills that I got, and the butterflies that I got in my stomach, I knew that there was nothing, in this world that ever made me feel like that.
After 16 months, Evans was sent home. He finished his last semester of high school, still longing to play, but he felt the need to support his family, so he took a job bagging groceries. That's when fate intervened again. Evans got a call from his cousin, Herschel Dennis, then a tailback at Southern Cal, playing alongside Lendale White and Reggie Bush. Dennis took Evans on a tour of the USC campus and even had him sit in on a class.
It was a real good experience for me, and that's something that I needed. It was almost like a wake-up call. Like, man, this is what you need to be doing.
That planted the seed for you?
I think that planted the seed right there.
And then the phone rang again, a call from a childhood buddy who was playing football at Los Angeles Harbor Junior College. Before long, Evans was too.
From that day on, I worked like I've never worked before. Not just for, to make everybody happy, but to do something successful in my life and to have the recognition of a football player.
He found a home at defensive end and was named all-conference after his first year. College recruiters loved his size and speed, including UK assistant Steve Ortmeyer.
Coach Brooks and Coach Ortmeyer told me that they'll be a father away from home for me. If I ever, needed any type of help or anything like that, mentoring me and stuff. So, my mom really bought into them and believed in everything that they told me.
The great thing about DeQuin is that he's smart. He understood the problems that he had as a youth and wanted a better life and was intent on getting it the right way, educationally and on the football field.
In 1 year, his peers nominated him as a captain. And it's not the coaches, it's his peers, and I think that speaks volumes in how what he means to this football team and this football program.
All these guys believed in me, in what I was doing, and know that I was doing it for them, and know that I was doing it for us, UK, and we was one heartbeat.
Evans had a huge junior year at Kentucky, leading the Wildcats in sacks and tackles for loss. He's been hobbled by injuries most of this season, but looked like his old self against Vanderbilt. He'll take his shot at the pros, and whenever football is over, Evans will pursue a job in social work, interacting with kids. DeQuin Evans says he wouldn't change anything about his life because it made him who he is today. He calls himself a blessed young man.
I'm proud of myself because, I know that I make my mama proud. It's not, people aren't coming up to my mom no more asking, oh, is DeQuin out of jail now? Or, is DeQuin still messing up? And, now my mom's hearing from family that she hasn't heard from in 20 years. I think just little stuff like that keeps her going every day. Looking at my picture, seeing where I come from, and to where I'm at now.